Same, not the same. Same, same, not the same. Same, not the same. So this is something that heard a lot in the furniture industry in Australia, because you can buy a same, not the same product from China very cheaply, and who cares about it going into landfill in your own country? Just save that buck now and forget about all the research and development and design, creativity and passion, tooling, manufacturing, setup, and everything else that has gone into creating an original product to making something that has merit and value on so many levels. So don't worry that someone's just gone from China to the Milano Fair and copied product 2 months later, put it on the market, and you can buy it at a bargain. That was a really big problem in the furniture industry, and it was very hard for a lot of businesses to survive through recessions and downturns, and even people to the point of when they lost their businesses, they lost their lives, and it is a damn tragedy. And this is all what is linked in with this virus now. This is a communist Chinese Communist Party virus, and they just want to take the world down because, mark my words, it's called the Asian century for a reason, and this virus hasn't stopped them at all, and they want it to stop the world. And we don't need to let it if we can just have belief in our own economy, and our own labour forces, because we don't need to outsource. I mean, it is difficult to manufacture en masse, particularly, things like furniture, but there's no reason why you can't go back to supporting the people who produce originals, who use designers to come up with new product, who put money into new materials, new fascinating materials for the world that can be used in so many interesting ways, and making product that is sustainable and that is the heirlooms of the future, and not just a quick fix that'll last a year or two. And I mean, it is just obscene and a goddamn tragedy, and it's happening for a lot of products, and it's obviously, I'm just speaking about furniture because that's where I have some employment history, but think about pharmaceutical drugs, and do you always buy generic? Do you always buy generic? So are you not supporting the people that actually research, develop and test new drugs to solve problems for humanity, to make people feel better, to make your lives better? Or are you just supporting the people that are going to swoop in and make a quick buck, and destroy other companies in the process? So, companies that are doing the research and development, eventually they stop because they don't have the funding coming in from the sale of their drugs, because patents can't last forever, and 5 years later they haven't made back their money, the millions of dollars or billions of dollars they've put into the development of these products that are there to save lives and make your life better, because of the generic sales. And that's the same thing with that's what the sales of these furniture items were as well, and everyone's getting held over a barrel because the dollar, and China, I mean, they've infiltrated everywhere. Your institutions, your universities, financial institutions, corporations, everywhere, they're there and they're reporting back. And, this is a big concern. I mean, and that's actually what I believe the concern for 5 generation is. I mean, surveillance and security. But that's not what's making you sick now. 5Gen is not making you sick now. There is a virus. It's come out of China and it makes people sick and it kills people, and we don't quite know what it is because it could have been developed exactly that way. Think about all those, Frank Tefano, think about that DNA test that I said don't do, and you said, oh, too late, I've done it. Because maybe people's DNA, you've just given people your very DNA. So what? So that they can create this virus, so it's rather tricksy, so it decimates certain populations? What? I mean, we don't know what that's all being used for, but I mean, as curious as I would be about my ancestry in particular, beyond what I can just know, I mean, I'd be fascinated to do that, but no way am I giving people my DNA like that, and you shouldn't either, anybody that's actually listening. That's very serious, very real concern. And I mean, this virus, when I saw that footage at the start of the year coming out of China, people being locked in their apartment buildings, families being locked inside their homes or dragged away brutally, I was terrified, and I could feel like a physical force, that tidal wave of that terror coming to us, coming to the world. And, without lockdown, we would have suffered greatly beyond what we're suffering now. And for all these people like the Frank Tefanos or the Carnivals who know not what they talk of, to tell you that your government hates you, despises you, wants you feeling sick, wants to destroy you as an individual. No, I'm sorry, but they're trying to save your life. Yeah, I mean, I've mentally and emotionally suffered, but I think I'm really more in a battle with myself, and it's something that, that's my struggle, and a lot of people are struggling in that way, and these truthers or these people that are just putting the fear into you on YouTube, it's wrong. They don't know what they're talking about. They're not qualified. They have no right to speak about politics or the economy or human rights in any other country. Carnival, stick to your mountain bike on your goat track. Stay in your own rut, because you've got no right to talk about world events in the way that you are, because you've got no right to twist people's minds like you're doing. I know you're happy to take the hits, the viewer hits. If you were to put a title on a video about veganism or Frank Tefano or something, you'd probably get 6,000 hits. For now, with what you're putting out, you're only getting a few hundred. So, you're willing to take that. Funnily enough, Frank Tefano's popularity is skyrocketing. He's someone that I've been very concerned with mental health wise, but I guess, I feel like he's on his own now because he's just talking shit as well. And it's not to say that New World Order and, that there's not a fear factor. And, of course that's the case, and people do take advantage of these situations for powering money, but governments are, people should not feel like their nation's leaders hate them and want them dead. I mean, that's just not right. Everyone is doing the best that they can with the information that they have at the time. Mistakes get made, but I think most nations should be so proud of what they've done, what they've achieved. People do know I have been in two minds over this lockdown, the longevity of it and everything. Because I feel like people are going to get sick regardless, but we do seem to know more now, and I think we can treat people better now. But, I think the vulnerable can stay protected, and we just need to take whatever measures we can for everyone else, to get back to regular life and to get back to taking part in society, community, economy, family, recreation. Yeah, yeah, same, not the same. I mean, mark my words, this is a Chinese Communist Party move. This is the Asian century just still playing out. And this virus will not stop China on that march for world domination. They want to be the number one superpower. And I don't know, I mean, how would I know whose help they've got? They do get funding from a lot of countries, USA particularly, with regards to the coronavirus research. You know, but we need to understand that we do have the labour, the materials, the abilities, the ingenuity to support ourselves. Australia and New Zealand, we're very lucky to have all the resources really that we need. And I know a lot of people that are high up in corporations, or a lot of very qualified people and a lot of very powerful and successful people are going to speak out as to why we should keep supporting China. I do individually, the individuals there that are suffering, I mean, yes, they are suffering there, and that is a tragedy. But no, there is not a moral reason to keep supporting CCP above your own nation and your own citizens. And people that keep talking like that, I mean, that's treasonous. And there are people making these deals in Australia and New Zealand with China, and it's just so wrong. Yeah, I mean, moving forward, I mean, because China wants other people's resources. They've got a lot of population on a very small land, and they want what we've got. It is a blessing. It is a privilege. We are lucky. It's pure luck. We're pure luck to be blessed to be born where we were born, to have the right to live where we currently live, to have the life that we have. We can't individually feel so sick and guilty to the fact that, to the degree that it's going to make us keep making the same mistakes and giving away our power, giving away our earning capacity to China. Okay, so it's a China virus, and whatever we can do to remain just self-sufficient and to produce what we can here, we need to do it. And be proud of yourself. I mean, I've been terrified through a lot of this, maybe wrongly for a lot of it, but I know it's that those 1% of truthers that have had me from pillar to post, and I'm just going to trust, humanity and the goodness. I'm going to trust the patriotism of our country's leaders for the majority. And anyone that is cutting deals with China, well, I think they need to be seriously looked at and stopped and reprimanded. Be careful who you're listening to. Be careful what you believe, because it's having future repercussions. Blame needs to be placed squarely on the shoulders of the perpetrators, and namely, numero uno is the CCP. Don't forget that. The virus is real. The virus makes people sick. The virus kills people. The virus has ruined lives in terms of the ordeals individuals have gone through. But we're not going to heal from that if we keep misplacing blame, and if we're letting the wrong people get away with things. Anywho, I've gone on long enough. This is the third time I've tried to record this, and I've just been really ranty and ravey. This is already going to be 15 minutes long. Thank you so much for listening. I'd love to hear what you all think. That's the reason why I'm making videos, is to, you know, for an outlet for me, and also because I do want people's perspectives, and yeah, to those of you that do comment, I really appreciate it. You often have really interesting things to say about your neck of the woods, and yeah, I think it's really interesting to see what others are going through, or to just, you know, have a reality check with other people. And yeah, I think we, you know, hopefully, yeah, this hasn't destroyed how we feel about our fellow human being. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm frightened for 5G and 5G generation, what it's going to do. But I think it's just, you know, I think it's the security and the surveillance, and that is the issue there. I don't believe that it's making us ill. I know that people really believe that, and yeah. Anywho, speak to you later.